Hello everybody, I am back with a new YouTube video. I know it's been a while, but I'm going to start posting regularly again, hopefully, and this is the first video in a while. And today I want to tell you how I recently got a job as an SDR, BDR, without any prior sales experience, and how you can do the same if you're someone interested in going into sales. If you had just graduated college and you're looking for a job in sales, I think this will be a great video on showing you steps on how I did it and how you can do the same. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So sales has been something that has really intrigued me and has gotten my interest for over like the past couple of years. And I thought that out of college, a sales job would be the best thing to do, like best position to go into. I was a business administration graduate, recently graduated a couple months ago from the University of Redlands. And in business, with a business administration degree, you can do a whole lot of things, go into a whole lot of different fields. You can be a business analyst, go into marketing, go into sales, just a bunch of other things. But I know that sales is a very key part of any business, and if you learn sales, in my opinion, you can really grow your personal skills tremendously, and also just that helps you lead into many different paths, whether it be marketing, analyst, or just further sales jobs. If you have a great grasp of it early on, it'll open up your career, and allow you to have a lot of possibility. Having said all of that, and even though sales is obviously a great career field, it's definitely by no means easy to get an SDR, BDR job, especially in the current market. It's a very competitive field. Obviously a lot of people go into tech sales, and I was looking into tech sales. However, there are different types of sales, positions that you can go into at different types of companies. And all of them kind of have the term SDR or BDR, which is sales development representative or business development representative, basically the same job. But yeah, like I said, it's a very competitive field at the moment. However, even though it is very competitive and I haven't had experience before, as I mentioned, I was able to land a job in this field and also have interest from many other companies. And I'll explain how I was able to do that. So really the first step for me in this process was LinkedIn. So about 2 years ago, I really decided to polish up my LinkedIn because I was told how important it is with job searches and recruiters and other companies finding you. And for this to happen, your profile has to look really sharp. So basically, I made sure that I had 500 plus connections, had my latest resume uploaded, and I made sure that I post, or at least am on LinkedIn consistently, just so I don't, seem like I'm not really ever on it, because apparently that is also something that's important. Being consistently on LinkedIn, posting, liking other posts, things like that, help your profile stand out. So through LinkedIn, I researched jobs in my area in the field of sales and applied to many. However, I didn't apply to all of them just to apply. So basically what I did was I carefully read the description and also kept in mind when the job was posted and also how many other people had already applied. So if the job was posted a while ago, or if it had a ridiculous number of applicants, I usually didn't bother applying, because A, if it was posted a while ago, it's most likely been filled by now. And B, if it had a bunch of applicants, the chances are very slim. And so waiting for, a response or like taking the time to apply would mean that, it might be better to just apply to a job that has a more realistic chance of getting back to you, basically. Especially like with someone like me, where I have no prior sales experience, and a lot of these companies that had a lot of applicants are looking for people with prior sales experience. And so I usually skip the ones that had tremendous amounts of applicants, or if they were posted a long time ago, unless they were posted by a company that I really wanted to work for or could see myself working and fitting in perfectly. Then I just applied anyways, because it's never a bad thing to apply. The worst thing is they just either don't get back to you at all, or they just say, thank you for your application, but we're deciding to go in a different direction. So either way, there's no loss from applying either way. But that's just how I save some time, because there's a lot of jobs out there, and you can't apply to all of them. Also, another thing I did was making sure that the job was a good fit. Obviously, you can only tell so much from just like the job posting, but I made sure to read like the description very well. Look to see if there were any people from my school at this job, messaging them if it was someone that I knew, just to ask like how like the company was, how they were enjoying it, because I didn't want to have like a bad job experience or work really hard in getting the job only to not like it, or even hate it or something like that. So I really made sure that it was a good fit before I applied, just so I wouldn't just be in a bad situation if I did end up getting the job. So in addition to applying to jobs on LinkedIn, I also used LinkedIn to reach out to recruiters, or like I said, people. If someone from my school worked at that job, I reached out to them, reached out to managers in that job. Basically what I did was just introduce myself, basically gave them my latest resume, and then just told them briefly like why I would be a good fit. I didn't see much success with this because obviously they're busy and probably get these messages all the time, but sometimes it does work. Recruiters get back to you, or managers get back to you, and this did happen to me. And so, it's definitely worth a shot. Like I said, worst case scenario, they don't respond and there's nothing to lose. So that could also be something that, you find useful in doing. And I definitely did. In my search, which was, nearly a month, I was applying to jobs constantly, and I wasn't really getting a lot of interest. At least they weren't emailing me, and I know companies take a while sometimes, but if they are interested, they tend to email you or reach out to you sooner rather than later. And I wasn't getting a lot of interest, but I was just continuing to find jobs that would be a good fit, and applying, and reaching out to recruiters consistently and things of that nature. And a problem that I faced was that most of 95% of the jobs that I applied to and that were on LinkedIn simply just wanted you to attach your resume and just give some general information about yourself, and that was it. So it wasn't a very personal process. And for me, and I think this is true for a lot of people, a resume usually isn't enough for me to truly explain why I would be a good fit for the job. I feel that if I can get to the initial interview, I have a great chance of getting the job, just because then I'll be able to talk to them. I'll explain myself, explain why I would be a good fit, and also better understand the company as well, because that's basically sending a resume, in my opinion, is like the equivalent of getting to know if the job is a good fit from only reading the description and nothing else. You don't really get a great idea of the company, similarly to how they won't get a great idea of who you are. And so luckily for me, the company that I actually received the job from, in their posting, said that if applicants wanted to, they could send in a video resume type of thing in addition to their resume, just to introduce themselves, tell the manager why they would be a good fit for the position, and then why they wanted to work at the company. And so I thought this was a great opportunity for me, because like I said, at least this wasn't like an interview, but it was some type of face-to-face interaction. And the jobs that I am applying for are sales jobs, including a lot of cold calling. So I thought that if I was able to do a good job with a cold call video, they would be more inclined to at least interview me. And so that's exactly what I did. I wrote a script similar to, a cold call script. After I made this video, I sent it off to the manager. I directly messaged it to him on LinkedIn, And he liked it so much that he immediately got back to me. And before even like the recruiter got back to me, he said that that a recruiter was going to reach out to me and that he wanted to meet with me um, like the day after I met the recruiter. So instantly I knew that I had a great shot of, getting this job. So basically the first two interviews that I went through were pretty typical interviews that I had done with previous jobs and internships. The first one was like the recruiter, where she just asked me like basic questions and I just answered them. And then the second one was with the manager, who asked me more, high level questions specifically about like the job and told me about the job. And I did pretty well in them. I was pretty comfortable because these types of interviews, like I said, aren't very foreign to me. So I was able to speak freely and I was able to be comfortable and answer the questions with examples and answer them properly. I did a good enough job to where they wanted to have me come into the office of the company, to do an in-person third interview. So the third interview was different than anything I had done before in terms of interviews. They asked me to create a cold call script for a specific product that they were selling, or a service that they were selling, and then also create a presentation about this service as well, and then just some additional things. And while the presentation wasn't very difficult to do, I have done a bunch of presentations before. I had never written my own cold call script really, besides the video that I sent in. So that was a little bit challenging, but I used the internet, used Google, used the company's website just to see, what is good, what is bad, what should I add, what should I take away, things like that. And, then I went into the third interview pretty prepared because I had spent a lot of time on the presentation of the cold call. And I think that the biggest thing for them was me showing that while the cold call and the presentation wasn't perfect or, extraordinary or anything like that, they saw that I had put in a lot of time and effort into these things, and they were also pretty good, right? So they saw that I had a good foundation and there was a good chance that I would be good in this job. And so luckily, that interview went well. I asked them a lot of questions about the company just because, like I said, I wanted to see that, it was a good fit. And lucky enough for me, I ended up getting the job. I was very happy and, I'm very excited. I have not started yet. I will be starting my job soon, and a lot more videos about SDR, the BDR, job role will be coming. And in addition, I know in this video I discussed, resume and LinkedIn and how important it is to make good LinkedIns and resumes and things like that. And I will do separate videos on those two things, in addition to just like the BDR, SDR role, in future videos. But for now, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope that this video will help those of you that want a career in sales, that just graduated college, or you graduated before and you weren't in sales but you want to transition into sales. I hope that this video helps. So that's it for this video. I will see you in the next one. Thank you.